What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media Channel. We're here today with some pretty cool news. Sony has a survey up on their website. Let me make this image a little bit bigger. And they're basically asking us, the physical media community, the fans, the collectors, what movies do we want to see on 4K from Sony in the future? I don't know if they're specifying. I mean, I imagine all these would be coming in 2026. Um, but this is pretty cool. I feel like this has happened before. Didn't Warner Brothers do a survey like a couple years ago? And when I Googled this to look it up, because several people were calling this out on Instagram, when I Googled this to look it up, apparently there were surveys in the past that Sony has done, going back like 7 years ago for titles that people wanted to see. I'm assuming on 4K. But yeah, this is pretty damn cool, guys. So this is the Sony Pictures Home Entertainment Sweepstakes and Survey. I will link this down below because you have until 11 you have until November the 25th, and I want to say that's next Tuesday. So I'm filming this on a Thursday. I should have this up on Friday or Saturday. So you'll still have time to fill this out if you don't know about it. Um, but all you do is you hit the link. Again, I'm going to link this down below. And you go here, you put in your first name, last name, email, zip code. I imagine I don't know if they want your address or not. I'm not seeing that here. But apparently you're entering to win stuff as well. You're entering for a chance to win up to 13 movies. So the grand prize will receive all four 4K UHD steelbooks and a Luc Besson 9-film box set. So you're entering to win a bunch of steelbooks and a Luc Besson box set. And yeah, very, very cool stuff. So yeah, I guess that's what they mean by 13 movies, because there's 9 movies in the Luc Besson box set. But you can win the Night of the Living Dead steelbook, which is extra cool because I believe that that's still out of print. Monty Python, A Knight's Tale. I think A Knight's Tale is out of print as well. And then Kroll, the 4K steelbook. So, but what I think is the most important here is that your voice gets to be heard in determining like what movies could we be seeing from 4K from Sony in 2026. Now, because it's Sony, unfortunately, like a lot of these will probably be steelbook only or they'll be slipcover only, but they won't be both probably because it's Sony unless they change things up and come to their senses in 2026. But guys, before we get into this in more details, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that because I cover news stories like this. I cover new physical media releases when they break. I do reviews. I do unboxings. We talk about all things physical media here on the channel. If you like that kind of stuff, that kind of content, hit the subscribe button. All right. So yeah, you enter all your information and then you go down here and they're asking you to pick 3 of the below movies from the Sony Pictures catalog, and which ones do you want to see come to 4K Ultra HD disc? So this is a really interesting selection of films. There's a lot here that I would like to see. There's a lot of comedies, which I think is a cool thing. Now, whether or not it's like maybe the top 3 that they get, like I don't know what I don't know like how they're gonna pick, how many they're gonna pick. I don't know if they're gonna pick like the 3 that get the most votes, or they're gonna pick the 10 that get the most votes. Those are the one they're gonna put out. What exactly they're going to do, I'm kind of wondering if, okay, the top 5 that people pick, those are the ones that we're going to do, that Sony's going to do. And then maybe we'll license the rest of this stuff out. Because right away I'm seeing Ace Ventura. Let me make myself a little bit smaller, guys, and this a little bit bigger because I don't feel like you guys can see it as well. But that's the list of titles right there. And they're only allowing you to pick from these 20 movies, but they do give you an option down below to pick something that you would like to see in the future, and kind of give your own pick, which I got a couple that I would like to throw in there as well. But yeah, you got to pick 3 of these 20. And I guess these are the 20 that they've determined that are the most popular in their catalog. And maybe they can sell these. I don't know exactly how they determine these 20, but there's a lot of Adam Sandler in here. I will call that out, and some Jim Carrey as well. We have Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. What I was going to say though is I'm wondering if, okay, they'll pick the top 5 or maybe the top 10 or whatever, and then they'll give the other ones to like Kino Lorber, Shout Factory, Arrow Video, like they'll license those out. But we got Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. We've got Ali with Will Smith from 2001. Kind of surprised that one hasn't been put out already in like a Columbia Classics, edition or something. Didn't that win or what? It was at least nominated for Best Picture. We also got Big Daddy, which I would I would love for that to come to 4. I want all the Adam Sandler movies on 4K. Also, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. I actually already did a voting here. I might do it again on the website. Maybe I'll use a different name or something. I don't know, but I will say, like, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls would look fantastic in 4K, I feel like, even better than the first one, which the first one looked good on 4K. I think Shout Factory did a good job in the 4K. I was just pissed off about the Dolphin trainer saying, "Take a shot, guys." Um, but I think that Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, can you imagine the rhino scene in 4K, guys? That would be incredible. I wouldn't mind like if Sony did it though, and they gave us a nice steelbook, and that would match my Shout Factory steelbook. So yeah, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls would look great. Big Daddy would look good in 4K as well. Bye Bye Birdie is a movie I've heard of. I've never seen that film. Click from 2006. I don't even own Click. I'll be honest, like I like Click. I don't know if it's a movie I really like need a 4K of though. But maybe they're I know that there's big fans of that movie, so maybe that one would be one that got voted on quite a bit. But I will say I voted on Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. That was one of the ones that I picked. Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage. I mean, sure. I don't see wasn't there a sequel? I don't see the sequel anywhere. But Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage, sure. I remember seeing that in the theaters back in the day. I wasn't a huge fan of that. We also got In Cold Blood. Not really familiar with that one. Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves. That would be a good one for 4K. Honestly, though, I could see like an Arrow Video doing that one. Maybe a Shout Factory or something. But honestly, like I think that would fit right in with Arrow Video. For sure. And I know that one has a black and white version as well. Then we've got Just One of the Guys, which honestly is one of my favorite 80s movies. I watched the movie so many times as a kid. I still haven't bought the Blu-ray though, from Sony. So I don't know if I need it in 4K since I haven't gotten the Blu-ray yet. But I will say I haven't got the Blu-ray because it's usually like 22, 23 bucks, and I'm not willing to spend that much for a Blu-ray at this point. So if they put a 4K out and it was like 25 bucks or 27 or whatever, I might buy it on that. And I might actually have the incentive to add that to the collection. But I do love Just One of the Guys. That would be a great pick, I think, for 4K. Then we've got Roxanne with Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah. That's a fun kind of romantic comedy. I don't know if I need that in 4K. I got a nice Mill Creek Blu-ray, but it's cool that it's on here, I guess. Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. Not familiar with this one, but it sounds like it's a sci-fi movie, a space movie, so that might be a cool one for 4K. We've also got Stuart Little. I haven't seen Stuart Little since I was probably like an early teen or a child. I don't remember when that came out. I feel like it was like the mid 90s. But I mean, we got Mouse Hunt in 4K, so why not Stuart Little? I mean, that would be a good one to license to Kino, I think. Because then they would have all the mouse movies on 4K. You got Mouse Hunt, you got Stuart Little, they got the Babe movies, coming. So that would be good for Kino, I think. This is one people have been talking about one for a while. It's one of the best comedies of the 2000s, Superbad. I would be down to get Superbad. I mean, I got Superbad on Blu-ray, but it's one of my favorites for sure from the 2000s. I watched Superbad like an unhealthy amount of times in the 2000s. That was the last great era for comedy. I love Superbad. Do I need it in 4K? I don't know, but there's a lot of like party settings, and I feel like it's got enough unique settings and stuff that it might pay off in 4K. It might be worth watching in 4K for Superbad. But I just want a nice like collectible steel book with some cool artwork. Like if they did it like Universal did a 40-Year-Old Virgin, that could be pretty cool. But yeah, Superbad. You could have the McLovin, driver's license on the inside. That could be the interior artwork. That could be pretty cool. Then we've got Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you're last. This is another one I watched so many times. I saw that movie in the theaters. I got it on DVD. I loved Talladega Nights. I think this is another one I voted on though. I do think I voted on Talladega Nights, and the reason being is the movie, it's a racing movie. Like it feels like it's a big budget racing movie, kind of like Days of Thunder. Kind of like, I mean, recently we got F1. So I feel like a racing movie, it's like really like visual in that way, like really visually like grand and has big set pieces and things like that. Will Ferrell on fire, run and save me, Tom Cruise. I feel like that stuff could look good in 4K. I feel like that movie is just. I think it would be. I think it would be a good one for 4K is what I'm trying to say. And you could do a really cool steelbook with that one too. Real like I these that's two I would want steelbooks for. Superbad and Talladega Nights because you could do some really cool stuff with the steelbook and the racetrack and the race cars and all that stuff. Maybe some of the different foods and stuff that they ordered, the Taco Bell and all that's at the table, and they say the prayers to baby Jesus. It's been a while since I've seen Talladega Nights, guys. I need to rewatch that one. But it's another one I watched so many times. I love that movie, and I do think it would be a good 4K. The next one I'm all for, and that is The Cable Guy. The Cable Guy coming to 4K. This is another one that I did also vote for. I love The Cable Guy. I don't know if it's probably in my top 5 Jim Carrey movies. This movie, interestingly enough, is directed by Ben Stiller, which he's actually in the movie, but Matthew Broderick and Jim Carrey, I do feel like this movie has a really, like, dark edge to it, both thematically, but also the cinematography in this movie is very dark. I do feel like this movie would look really good in 4K though. Like I'm thinking about that medieval time sequence in 4K. There can be some good scenes and stuff in 4K. So I would be all for The Cable Guy coming to 4K for sure. I think that would be a good one. So I voted for Ace Ventura, Talladega Nights, and The Cable Guy. Those are my three. I wanted to vote for Superbad, but again, Superbad's one that I think could look good in 4K. I don't know if it's the one that would probably be like my fourth one. If I have 4 votes, I would vote for that one. Um, Next up, we've got the Kane Mutiny. Like honestly, guys, who's voting for the Kane Mutiny when you've got all-time masterpiece classics like Superbad? Of course, I'm kidding, guys. It's all subjective, but still, like, I wonder, like, it's just funny you have a list like this: Talladega Nights, Superbad, the Kane Mutiny, Bye Bye Birdie. Like, maybe that one's also. Maybe these are all comedies. I don't know. Some of these in Cold Blood does not sound like a comedy. I'll say that, and Ghost Rider is not really a comedy. Um, but yeah, most of these are comedies. So yeah, I just find it interesting. You got these like more classic films mixed in. Like honestly, you got so many great comedies here. Like you could do like a Columbia Classic set comedy edition or something like that, like a comedy set. Like do like a 10 movie comedy set and just throw all these damn movies in there. And do some really cool artwork. Like I that would sell, I think. I think it would, especially now. I think people are on board with upgrading the comedies. For a little bit, comedy kind of had that stigma, I feel like, with 4K. I don't feel like it has that anymore. At least I don't think it does. I think we've gotten enough this year that's kind of proven that. Um, but the K Mutiny, guys, in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the David Fincher one, I haven't seen that movie. It's one of the few David Fincher movies I've never seen. I've heard good things about it, though. So sure. I mean, I'm honestly surprised that doesn't already have a 4K, to be honest. The Holiday, I watched that last year for the first time since it came out. My wife and I watched it. It's a okay kind of romantic comedy drama. You got Jack Black, Jude Law, Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet. It's a great cast. Oh, you also got God, what is his name? The guy from The Good, the Bad, the Uglies is in the movie. He's way older, but the guy that plays Tuco is in the film, which I found to be pretty interesting. But it's a good movie. I think the movie though, it's beautifully like the set design in the film, the cinematography is really beautiful. I think that movie could look really good in 4K. Then we got Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. That would be like I watched the Mill Creek Blu-ray, like when they did the Steelbook last year. The Mill Creek Blu-ray looked good. That's probably all I need. Walk Hard, Dewey Cox in. But sure, if you want to do that movie in 4K, I'm fine. Again, put all these movies in a comedy box set. It's so funny though. That's a movie I watched when it came out and I liked it. I didn't revisit it very often, but I rewatched it last year and was just laughing my ass off for like the entirety of the movie. It is so ridiculous and funny, and John C. Reilly is incredible in that film. And I do think there's some moments that would look pretty damn good in 4K. So that's cool. Then we've got Young Guns 2, which honestly, like, that's a Western, and that probably should be in 4K. But like Young Guns is one of the best 4Ks that came out the year it came out, I think 2023. So I think we do need Young Guns 2. And I think a nice steelbook of that would be great to kind of match the one that Lionsgate did. It's a shame that they're both from different studios because I think a Lionsgate 4K steelbook of Young Guns 2 would be perfect and you can match those up. But now you got to do the Sony one. They'll probably do the original poster, things like that. That's one that, honestly, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the movie. That's why I didn't vote for it. But if I had seen the movie, I probably would have voted for it because a Western in 4K, like those always look great. So I'm sure that that's a warranted upgrade for sure. But those are the releases. Honestly, like I'm seeing people, I don't want to call anybody out, but I'm seeing people on Instagram like promote these titles and pretty much say that they're coming to 4K. And I think it's just because it's on this list. I don't think it's actually based. So I did kind of want to make this video because I was going to cover this on the physical media report, but as rumors, but again, these are on a survey. They're not actually announced yet. I mean, again, very heavily indicated that we could be getting a lot of these in 4K, but we don't know until the surveys close, like as to which ones we're going to get. So I wanted to make this video kind of separately from the physical media report, just to kind of let you guys know what's going on and also give you all the opportunity to vote for this stuff. So if I drop it Saturday, you're going to have about 3 days to still get on here and vote for this stuff because I want everybody that watches this channel, my audience, to have a voice in this. I'm not trying to steer you guys towards the comedies, but vote the same way I did. Vote for the comedies, guys. I'm just kidding. Vote for what you want. Anyway, down here is pretty interesting. You got they're asking, would you be interested in buying any of the following physical gift sets? So I guess they're talking about like a box set. You got a Ray Harryhausen box set, which I imagine a lot of people would be. I think that one's going to win, honestly. Then you got Best Picture winner 4K gift set, and then you got UPA cartoon Blu-ray gift set. Like, who's going to want those two? Like, you would vote for the Ray Harryhausen 4K gift set, so that's the one that I voted for. And then down here, they're asking what other films, television series, or gift sets from the Sony Pictures catalog, including Columbia Pictures, TriStar Pictures, Sony Pictures Classics, Screen Gems, Sony Pictures Television, and Sony Pictures Animation would you like to see on 4K Ultra HD discs that are not currently available or listed above? So I don't know the catalog well enough. I did some Googling just to kind of see if anything stood out. And I would like to see the film Evolution come to 4K, which is directed by Ivan Reitman. That would be a good 4K. And I also think When Harry Met Sally, like I think it's time that we get that movie on 4K, whether or not you let Shout upgrade that to 4K because they did the Blu-ray, or if you do it yourself and put it in a box set. I think that's honestly like I think it's the best romantic comedy of all time. I think it's better than Sleepless in Seattle, and you've already got that on 4K in a gift set. So other than that, like I couldn't think of any franchises that hadn't already gotten a 4K upgrade from Sony. Maybe there's something really big out there that they need to do. But again, this is for you guys as well. Again, click it, votes, let your voices be heard. But those are the two that I chose. Then we've got, are there any films or television series currently not available on Blu-ray that you'd like to see from Sony Pictures? Again, that's another one I wasn't too sure about. Then you got, do you collect any other items outside of 4K UHD discs, Blu-rays, and DVDs? If so, what items do you collect? That's an interesting question to ask. I don't exactly know why they would be asking that. Another interesting thing here that I did not note is in the questions here where they're asking your name and your email and the month that you're born and all that stuff. They're also asking you how many discs or sets do you have in your collection? Of course, I put 1,000 plus, but I wonder if I don't really think this would be the case. I think it's just they're just inquiring on it, but I wonder if they would put any more weights on a pick because you have more discs in your collection. Like that's interesting, I think. Like if that were the case, but I don't think that's the case at all. I just found it interesting that they asked that question, that specific question. But all right, guys, that's it. I just wanted to get on here, let you guys know the survey was going on from Sony. I will link it down below. Get on there, let your voice be heard. We always talk about the titles we want to come to 4K. Sony is giving us an opportunity to let them know what we want. A lot of cool comedies there that I would love to see as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos. And follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description. And we'll see you next time.